Yo, I just got a little hustle, got a little work, couple little jobs for the eyes, a little dirt, couple ends for my troubles, couple little perks, never took orders well, self-sufficient little jerk, lining up the sheep and preparing to sink my teeth in, the AKA's the wolf, for a effing reason, insomniac demon, hardly ever sleeping. What's good, y'all? This is the WulfWords podcast. My name is Taji. I'm your host. We got Keazy in the building, we got Damon G in the building.
Hi guys.
This is the first time we got our old squad back from the Underground Railroad, ain't it?
Yep.
Since the pandemic.
Yeah, since the rebranding joint we doing.
Yep. You know it.
Since the pandemic.
So how y'all been? How y'all past week been? What y'all been up to?
Daughter got her license, so other person on insurance.
You said your daughter got a license?
Yep. She about to move out, so I'm a little sad.
For real?
Yeah.
Well,
ain't that different? Ain't people usually happy when their kids move out?
Not me. Mine's an angel.
Mari too.
She just got a license.
She been had a license, but she is moving out this weekend.
Oh,
you happy? Oh no, you. Well,
I'm not there.
You said you.
I don't know what you comfortable. What business you comfortable with being out?
I'm not there. So, but of course,
yeah, I'm
going back to Pittsburgh. I gotta take her on Saturday.
Oh, you do?
This man stay driving to Pittsburgh.
I know.
And I'll be coming right back.
I'll see how you do.
How long a drive is that?
5.
Oh, that ain't that crazy.
That ain't that crazy.
It's crazy if you're going up and back.
Up and back. Yeah, well, that's 10
a day. Yeah.
Yo, we get in the car. I take her up. Peace out. Throw all her shit on the curb, and then I come like literally right back.
Well, Maya's staying in the city, but this is like her first
Where she
official apartment. She moving to center down Drexel's campus, off of Drexel's campus.
Oh, all right. Like what area though? Like
39th and Market.
Oh, all right, yeah, all
Chestnut?
those new Johns.
Yeah, she got one of them new Johns. So, okay. But I mean, she's moving, so like she's not coming back home.
She'll be back home. They not the type to.
Maya's gone.
Maya, let me think. Maya do be out though.
She not gonna come back home.
She be out,
and that I think
Mari be like she want to stay home.
Oh yeah, see, I think Maya ready to get her life like going. I think she's ready.
That's good though.
I mean, it is good, but I don't want her to leave. I mean, she is 21.
You'll be all right, man.
No, I know I'll be all right, but I'm just saying, like, you know, it's like.
Was she helping with a lot of stuff around the house? Is that why?
Yeah, well, no, I mean, just her.
But she doing shit you don't want to do.
Just her presence, you know what I mean? Just her being in the house, and just now, you know, now she ain't gonna be in the house.
Calming presence in the house.
Yeah, Maya always kind of level the house out. You know what I mean?
Did she make the relations better between
relations
you and the old lady?
No,
I wouldn't say that.
She wasn't a blocker.
No, she don't block. Yeah, she don't block. No, my other KJ.
She wasn't blocking like
KJ
watching.
He's the blocker. But he's the blocker. So yeah, but I mean, I'm excited for her. You know what I mean? She got her license. She got her credit together. She almost got an 800 already, like right off.
Yeah,
so,
that's
okay.
I mean, making sure they do that.
Yeah,
like,
just
I be telling Mari like,
yeah,
make sure you pay your motherfucking bills.
I tell her that all the time.
Call us,
yeah, please,
so we can keep your shit on time.
Exactly.
Can you imagine having that back in the day?
So let me ask y'all something. Well, y'all know about this Lizzo stuff that's been going on, right?
Yes.
I don't really know that much about it.
You should have seen. I started to put it in a group. Like my finger was near the send button. I was like, I don't even feel like doing it.
Why?
It was just too much.
Like in what way?
Like her, like just going through her Instagram, she naked every 5 seconds. Like,
is she? I didn't realize she was naked all the time.
If you go on her Instagram,
I knew that.
You go on her Instagram.
I don't follow her, so I don't know.
Like, somebody showed it to me.
Yeah, just pick up and hang it up.
Somebody showed it to me. So, I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But how do you? I'm not gonna say she mad that people saying something.
Wasn't she crying or something?
She's crying. She's sad that people are saying something.
All right, so it's ironic this happened because I've been having like a 2-month-old arguing with y'all. Know Dre been on the show, past shows.
What up, Dre?
We bring up Dre name sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, one of my longtime friends and a former assistant of mine and close friend, Nisha. Y'all know Nisha, right?
What up, Nisha?
Yeah.
About the idea of calling somebody fat, but like my thing is like saying it is a descriptive term. So let me give y'all a scenario that Dre brought up, right? He was saying something happened with his daughter or whatever. So I was like, which one? The fat one, right? I know it sounds bad. I know it sounds bad on the surface, right? Vivian checks in.
Vivian just checked this in. She called it. You hung up on her.
I don't know.
For real?
Yeah.
That's what she said.
That's right. In podcast listeners, we are doing this with our Instagram live audience. So I said, which one the fat one, right? Now, I don't remember him reacting no type of way when I said it. Hold on, man, because you make it sound bad.
Yes, he really
crank
is.
it up. Now, when I said
dying.
this, I'm just thinking as a descriptive term. Like, she's big. She's big. That's it.
So why you didn't say the big one then?
Same thing to me.
To you, but not to a father.
Hold up. I'm telling you, I didn't think nothing of it. I just said which one the fat one. To me,
I'm not even trying to die. But it's making me
I don't
dying.
think Dre said nothing about it because he knows me, right? So we had this discussion and it comes up later. Nisha is on the Instagram line and she's typed the SMA. She about to get on her shit. But anyway, so it comes up later in this discussion with Nisha and Dre on the WhatsApp group, and Dre brought up, like, you know, like if somebody said, normally if somebody said that about my daughter, I want to punch him in the face, but I know how you are and stuff. But I'm like, well, why though? Because like, here's my thing. Now hear me out. We was in a group the other day, right? Y'all's teasing me about being what? Skinny. Teasing me about being skinny. My thing is, my rationale is, skinny is just the opposite of fat. It's a descriptive term.
I mean, it is.
Right?
But one is worse than the other.
Why?
Though.
Why?
Society made it that way.
Society made it that way.
Keazy, you consider yourself fat, right?
Yes.
Do you get offended if we say it? Now, be honest. Do you get offended if we say it?
Which y'all know, but like
I'm
if
about to
somebody,
say,
like
we
somebody,
mean
because
it with
yeah,
love in our
y'all
hearts.
just teasing me. But I'm talking about like
Not even teasing though. Like sometimes we just saying it as
Yeah,
like
no,
a matter of fact. Type
I get
thing.
what you're saying, but like if somebody don't know me,
Right, but I know Dre.
right? So that's what I'm saying.
So
right.
like, my thing is context matters first of all too, right?
Of
So
course,
like he would bring it up like I was like, but he was like I was trying to make the point that fat as a descriptive term is not a negative term. It's just a descriptive term.
Right, like if somebody said, yo, Dame, the black ball, I wouldn't be
It's
like,
a descriptive term.
Yeah, I wouldn't
like
be,
when people talk about putting on weight, I'm gonna get fat. Like it's a descriptive term, right? But like he kept on bringing up the idea of me saying about his daughter. He's like, if I didn't know you, but you do know me though. So like me saying about your daughter is me just saying like,
Yo, that's wild. That's wild.
if a regular boy was like, yeah, Dre, where your fat daughter at?
That's wild. Yo.
but I'm his boy though. You see what I'm saying?
But his point is, you cool, but if a regular dude was like, Jay, what's up? Jay, where your fat daughter at?
Right. So here's the thing. I agreed with him and Nisha. I was like, you're right. Like saying that 90% of people are going to take offense to it.
Correct.
So here's my thing. Like, y'all know the whole purpose of this show is to like give people alternative perspectives. Let me ask you why.
Because society, like Keazy said, and it offends. Everybody's so easily offended.
But
That's the number one.
So here's where we got in a problem in this discussion.
Yep.
They started saying that like I said I'm short. Somebody called me short. I might get offended by it. I mean, I can, but I don't. Like I said, I don't get offended by it, right? So they started saying, well, that's not the same thing. You know, short. I was like, how are you going to say it's not the same thing? I've been short my whole fucking life.
Me too.
So it's
Me
something
too.
that I could take offense to. As a man, I can't grow. Like I'm only this height. A fat person can lose weight.
Right.
Like you could even argue that one is worse. Right?
No, I see your
So
point.
my whole thing is like you're making a judgment call on what should be taken offense to and what shouldn't be. And my thing is like it's all based on what society says. So there's like this movement now where you can't say, and this Lizzo thing is kind of related. You can't say fat to people because it's like, you know, there's this thing where you have to accept the fatness.
You do have, and that's
I knew
the
he
whole
couldn't get.
thing.
I know he couldn't get it out. Bro. I knew he could not get it out. I knew he couldn't.
Why
I
he
knew
dying?
he
He couldn't get it out bad. Because Lizzo was saying that you're supposed to be able to accept the fatness.
That's what she said.
Like basically, like why y'all body shaming?
She didn't use those words.
She used the words body shaming.
No,
body shaming.
she didn't use the word fat though.
You shouldn't be saying anything about my fatness.
So Nisha says you need to choose better words. Do I?
Only because.
Yes and no.
Only because I wouldn't have said that to Dre, and I. Because, like you said, you can't say it to certain. Like, I could say, Dre, you fat as shit.
Right.
But I wouldn't say, yo,
About
your
it.
daughter
So what would you
fat.
say to describe her then? The big one?
Yeah,
That's better? That's better.
that's better.
You think so? Big?
That's
big?
better.
The big one.
Because big could just
think it's
mean
better, Keazy?
taller.
No, it's
the same,
worse.
right?
That's worse?
Well, no, it's the same. No, it's the same.
You see, but wait, but
The
you see
big one?
you see the
That's
problem.
worse.
You see the problem we run into though, right?
But if
because
it's a small one and a big one, then the big one.
What? No. Oh my god. You could have said.
you see the problem because so Nisha, for example, was saying. I was like, well, Nisha, what because it's almost like the
older one or the younger one?
It's almost like
well, I guess you.
it's almost like the LGBTQ thing. It's like what's acceptable to say? Like everything you gotta walk on pins and needles and eggshells with now, right? So she was saying she just stays away from the conversation. I'm like, so I was like, I'm a communicator. I'm not gonna not say shit. I was like, so you're basically refusing to communicate. That's how uptight you are. You don't even want to talk to people because you scared you're gonna offend. My approach is say the word. If they get offended, they can say
Now,
it,
Nisha,
and then
I
I
think
address
that's
it.
worse.
Right? Like if I say the word and they get offended, like, well, why you say that? Like, oh, that you took offense to that. My bad.
No, I see. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
My kids don't like fat either.
Nah.
well, fat is fat. It's fat.
Fat is
A doctor
fat
might
is
even
fat.
use that word.
That's the name of this
Like-
episode. Fat is fat.
Skinny
fat
is skinny.
is.
Short is short. Tall is tall.
So would y'all use the word obese?
Nah, I think that's the worst thing you could say.
I do too.
But anyway, what I was getting at is here. So now we, see the struggle now. Like what word to use? Now you gotta be like, well, so
These
you talking
about
to
to say
you talking to.
That's worse.
I think heavy is worse.
That's
than
worse.
fat.
So
That's
you,
worse than
you
fat.
see the problem because like so now you struggling with words to use. So you gonna talk to your homie like, well, I can't say this word. No, this is my homie. I'm saying that word fat. If he described my sister, if he takes offense, then listen. If he takes offense to it, he can say it, and then I'll be like, my bad. What's wrong with that?
But you know, all right. So flip the switch.
If he said by my sister, I would not get ashamed.
But if he said that to man, which one of your sisters, the fat one, man would have been like, nigga, where you at?
I'm not sure a man would because he does the same thing. I don't think he would be like that.
I don't know.
Man, he gave this example because I was talking to him about it. He gave this example of this lady
Man?
at his job who showed her, this lady showed him a picture of like some dude modeling or something like that. She was like, see, what you think about this or whatever? He's like, who, the fat boy, right?
That's what man said.
She's like, you think he fat? He's like, yeah, the dude right there. She's like, yeah. She's like, that's my son.
Man said.
So the lady was like, that's my son. So he was like, so I'm supposed to, like, that's what he is. Like, I'm supposed to change it because it's his son.
what he
He was like
is.
genuinely confused. Like, I mean, my bad, but like, that's what I see him as. Like, he fat. So she was like, ain't you fat? Like, she's like, what you want me? Like, all right, so what would you rather me say? Chunky? She's like, I mean, so it's like, you
They don't want you
understand?
to say. They don't want you to say anything.
But before he knew that it was her son, he just described it as what he saw. It's a
Yeah,
descriptive
yeah.
term.
No, I know.
Taji, I'm not saying that you're not wrong. Because we already knew how this conversation was going to go.
Right.
Because because he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Because like you said, he's using a descriptive word. But just like short, just like tall, like they're
It
all the
should
same
be
thing.
like that.
No, it should be like that, but
should
it's not.
be like that, but it's
No,
not.
it's not. Exactly.
not.
Exactly. And this was the point I'm trying to make to them. Now, I think of stuff just on like a matter of fact. I don't care what
Right.
society says. Right? So, like I said to them, like, I don't disagree that people will take it more offensively. My thing is like, I don't see it that way. So, it's,
Because you can change fat.
and usually, and you can change it, but usually if I'm having a conversation with somebody and I use the word fat, because they were trying to say, you don't know how to say stuff to people. I was like, but nobody ever has taken offense to me with the way I say stuff. So you can't say that because people genuinely, like my followers or whatever the case may be, see me as somebody who's a thoughtful person, and I think things out before I say it. I was like, so I haven't had situations where people take offense. Y'all seem like y'all have had more situations like that than me. So how am I the one? I was like, so maybe the way I'm saying it in a context is in like training somebody or something like that. Like you want to, don't you when you lose that fat, like get your fat ass up on the thing, something like that. Trainers, people never take offense to because it's an environment. It's an environment where they expect to be kind of
Let me ask you this.
ridden for being fat or whatever, right?
Right.
The gym we go to, talk about fat all the time.
Let me ask you this. Would you say you talking to a girl, you saw her sister, she was rotund, and the girl talking to you, and the sister say something in the background, And you're like, yeah, my sister. She was like, yeah, my sister. Would you say your fat sister?
No, I wouldn't do that.
But see, why wouldn't you do that?
Because that comes off as an insult. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's any word you use, you can use it in an insulting way, and you can use it in a descriptive way.
Right.
My whole thing here is just the word on itself. People just assume it's an insult when sometimes it's just a descriptive term. Like, the context with which you use it matters. There's any word you use. You could say my nigga, and you could say that nigga. Like, any word can be
Right.
offensive depending on how you use it.
Right.
My whole thing is like, on its just
Right,
the
he
word
wasn't
fat
saying it.
in and of itself should not be deemed an insult. In the same way, skinny shouldn't be deemed an insult. In the same way, people say short shouldn't be deemed an insult. Although we know, and this is how we got into like a problematic point in this argument when they were trying to say short is not. So how can you say that? Because I've been offended. Dre said something about how like I never showed that it bothered me. I was like, so what? So maybe I'm stronger than the average person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You are though, but I mean, like half of society is not as strong as everybody think they are.
We play sports. I play basketball. This niggas taller than me all the time. If they say you got the short nigga, I'm like, who the fuck you talking to? Like,
Well, that's different. It's
I'm
different.
short.
No, it's different though, Dan. You know it's different. It is different. It's not like you saying, all right, so that's not an insecure type thing. But if you say, oh, I'm talking to it's two Damons, and it was like, oh, what's Damon? Oh, the short one.
I'll be like, all right.
So we got some points. So
all.
Amari Hunt says on Instagram says when someone is offended by something, you're pointing out something they're insecure about. So that's a good point, right? So there's people who I'll say fat call like you're not. You might be insecure about it.
I'm insecure about it.
You don't
I am.
get like offended.
But no, I don't get. You
don't carry it, right?
Or we not trying to insult you by it.
Right. So you can't figure out what people may be insecure about, right? So it's not on us, society, to deem one thing more insulting than another because it's not our place to say what people may be offended about, right?
But that's why you shouldn't say nothing. That's what
Nisha.
That's where they at now with it. Where just don't say nothing.
Wow. Okay.
So Nisha's of the mindset. She says the word is insulting. You don't call people fat. I don't agree with that.
You call people fat?
It depends on what the situation is and how I'm using the word.
Well, yeah, the situation. Because like
I've been called skinny. Like I said, y'all just tease me about being skinny in the group, right? My whole life, people call me skinny. So, but it's like the same weighting put on that, right? But now we actually in a world now where skinny is now becoming for women becoming a thing that they're feeling they're insecure about because the thick woman is now what people want, right? I know a lot of women who like insecure about their asses and all this kind of stuff because they're skinny, but nobody gives them that type of sympathy. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? You see how she like? You see how
fun of skinny people that much?
Like I bet you Nisha's not going to say don't call people skinny. That's an insult. It's all about the fat thing.
Right. That point out, that is a very good point. People.
Why do y'all think it is though?
Well, right now, you can't say nothing.
It's been like that forever.
I got a theory. when it comes to like black culture.
I think it's been an insecurity for
the last. They've been trying to make it this way for the last however many years. Yeah. Not being able to say anything about anybody's appearance, no matter what.
But it's still, I think it's certain things they put certain weight on. It's subjective. They put certain weight on certain things. Is okay. Like the short. Nobody cares about dudes being called short.
Nope.
That's
you know what I'm saying? They tease them and all kinds of stuff. Like, I mean, if I go on a dating site, it's girls. I don't want no short dude. Like, it's just, you know what I mean?
Like, you say I don't want no tall dudes?
No, everybody want a tall dude. See, that's the thing. So short is definitely. I think Dre was making the case that like short is not as much of an insult. I'm like, yo, it's almost across the board. Almost across the board, women would prefer taller men. That's a fact.
True.
That's a fact.
So how can you see? You understand that you're guilty of the same thing you're accusing me of being guilty of?
No, I agree. Yeah, I mean, like,
and this is the problem where you get caught up in societal norms and what society says is right. You know what I'm saying? And what's not. Now, on the fat thing, my theory, right, is that I think it goes even a little bit deeper and it's even destructive, right? Because in the black community, they put fast food restaurants. Black people suffer from health issues related to obesity and all this kind of stuff, right? You got this Lizzo thing we were just talking about. I think it's a form of systematic oppression. In the sense that, like, in the black culture, it's normalized being obese and overweight.
Oh, yeah.
And so we all playing, and then we all playing into it.
So it's all right.
Yeah, we playing into it because now you can't even say this person is fat because
Right.
you know what I'm saying, because it's so normalized now in the black community that it's becoming the thing. And now you can't even point it out because
Dang.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it's a form of systematic oppression. It's literally killing black people being overweight.
It's nuts.
Fast food, diabetes, like all this kind of stuff is a
you
problem in
got
the
a
black community.
No, that's definitely the problem. I mean, what's healthy ain't cheap.
Well, yeah, that's been since being healthy started.
Yeah, but like Taji said, it's like it's in our community heavy. Like we talking about
Literally
like,
heavy.
yeah, heavy. Yeah, it's in there heavy. Like you can go down the street and see 3 different fast food restaurants, but you won't see a supermarket. Why is that? I mean, it's we all know it's deeper than than the fat thing and the whole. Like it's deeper than that. Like you can go as deep as you want, like with the whole community thing, with the whole why we don't have those type resources. But for Taji's point though, like
Nisha got some comments.
I understand what he's saying because he's looking at it logically. Like that's just the way it is.
Exactly.
That's just the way it is. He's looking at it black and white.
Right.
But everybody in society probably are not as strong as you to kind of like look at it that way because everybody's so insecure about everything.
But and my thing though, Keazy, is here's the point again that I was making to Nisha and Dre. I don't go around assaulting people. Like you see my follow. Like how many people y'all know around us or followers or whatever that think I'm an insulting person?
No,
So like I may use the word and they don't think it's insulting when I use it because I'm not using it in your fat ass. I'm not saying that. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm using it as a descriptive term. I think there's a difference.
No,
if you look up fat in the dictionary, it has a description. It doesn't say an insulting,
right?
Word used for people overweight. It don't say that.
So
Right.
is
You know what I'm
it
saying?
only insulting when you skinny? I think a fat.
Well, it
person
might be
to
to
another fat
the point
person.
of Amari when people are insecure about it can be insulting. So to that point, anything you use can potentially be insulting to somebody.
Well, yeah.
So for me, it's like I personally am not gonna put weight on certain words over another as far as what can be insulting. I'm gonna use neutral words. I'm not saying you sloppy bitch. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah,
I'm
no,
saying
I
fat,
understand.
right? So if they feel insulted by it, then when they tell me that, then I'll apologize. If I say something, if I say you're slim, maybe they might get insulted by that. I can't say. You know what I'm saying? If I say because you a petite girl, you a short girl, whatever. Maybe they might get insulted by that. Who the fuck knows?
You're right.
If they choose to be insulted, they can say it. They were saying that people scared to say stuff to me. I'm like, I don't think that's true, man. So nobody
Really?
ever is afraid to say. Nobody is.
Who else you
bold enough
call
to say
fat? You got a fat record?
No, I don't. That's the whole point. I don't.
So then
Now
how
I
can
may
they say
I
people
may
scared
use
to
the
say
word
something?
freely, like on a podcast and stuff like that, right? I may use it like that, but I don't. I haven't come. Look, we did a show recently about the butt cast,
Yeah.
and I was using similar words then. Most people was calling me and hit me up like, "Yo, I'm glad you said that stuff because it's true as hell." I think I'm saying shit a lot of people just don't want to say. To be honest with you.
No,
Like I'm not gonna walk on
That's
the
my
eggshells.
motto.
No,
I'm not gonna
yeah,
walk.
that's
Yeah, you
weird.
do. I'm not gonna walk on eggshells with my verbiage or whatever around people. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? If they are to get offended, then they can tell me they offended, and then I'll change it.
Right.
But I'm not gonna be like I'm not gonna speak to people. I'm not gonna use. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well, you can do that.
nobody knows what's gonna offend people. That's too much.
right.
But I hear what y'all saying that like most people on the surface level will think fat is an insult.
Yeah, because
Right.
they're
Right.
insecure about it.
Insecurities and stuff like that, and the societal influenced thought processes and all this kind of stuff. But I know many women that's insecure about being skinny.
I do
these
too,
days.
actually. I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why that whole term "slim thick" came out. Where'd that come from?
Well, yeah, there's being skinny, but
Right.
Right, because I think that the skinny girls want to be. Some of them want to be thick, so slim thick.
my whole thing is you can do something about either one of them.
No, you're right. So I think that's
Want to gain weight? Eat.
that-
Want to lose weight? Don't.
But I think that's what Taji's main point is about this. He said because it's something that you can change.
Yeah,
Go.
Amari Hunt says on Instagram, it's better to have expensive, healthy food now than those hospital bills
I agree.
later
No,
in life, though.
she's totally right.
It's a he. And then he said,
he started right.
Then he said
He's
it
totally
depends
right.
on societal norms. In
thinking about
Japan, a
Amari.
thick girl was bad, but in America, it's favored more. Yeah.
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 No, I mean,
Well, fat as a whole in America is different than anywhere
right.
Yes.
on the planet.
I totally agree with that. I think we probably the most unhealthy country there is.
The fattest country.
Yep.
Yeah, like I don't have a problem with fat people. It's the same thing as like homosexuality, right? I don't have a problem with gay people. I have a problem with the agenda that gets pushed on society of homosexuality. It's like shoved down people's throat to the point where it like I think it affects the community a little bit.
It offends you.
Does it?
No, it don't offend me. It don't offend
It doesn't
me. Actually,
offend you?
It don't offend me. No, it don't offend me. But I think the agendas offend me everywhere.
The
Like,
forcing, of course.
yeah. So with the obesity thing, I ain't gonna say obesity. Like the over, people being over, like the whole agenda with like you can't say nothing about people being overweight. That's just, it's an agenda. Like agendas bother me, and I don't feed into it. I don't like feeding into agendas.
Oh,
You see that?
What?
yeah.
What you talking about? She here? All right. Somebody decided to show up at the podcast or whatever.
That's what type of shit goes down. Anything can go down. Actual wolves could be at the door.
She's a good person to actually have because she put on weight. I'm interested in hearing what Vivian say about it. I've used the word fat around her. I don't think she got offended.
People you already know. It's totally.
But she's insecure about it though.
If I was on the phone with you and you said Vivian here and I said fat Vivian, and you said,
but see,
she would get mad.
But that's an insulting way of saying it.
I said it the same way.
No woman here.
Vivian,
Because it wasn't about a woman.
I asked you about being on a podcast.
Oh,
And I'm here.
Have you heard what we've been talking about? You have something you want to say real quick?
don't drive and watch live podcasts.
So you're the perfect person to have for this. I'm not saying because you fat.
Because I'm fat.
No, I'm not saying that. You're not secure with your
As soon as
current
you
weight.
walk in the door.
Right.
Right, you're not secure with your current weight.
Like
Right.
slim thick.
Something.
She used to be.
Keazy just said that.
She used to be a piece.
And he said
Used to be a piece. Like,
Hey, that's what
like
I'm
she
saying.
ain't
He said
nothing.
that he doesn't offend people.
No,
but
all right. So
man.
Vivian now, look, no, listen, my homies, like, I don't want to put no names out there, but like my homies, and they see you now, they be like, oh damn, like, it's a taste thing, right? I'm not saying Vivian is a bad looking woman. I'm not saying that, but you yourself are not. You don't like the weight you put on, right?
Right. Because I think all women are like that.
Most women who are a certain way and that they're different, they don't like it.
Especially
Most
if
people.
women have kids. I think that's what it is. When you get older, you have children. Yeah, women don't like their bodies. It's hard to accept your body changing. I
So
think guys are like that too a little bit.
So I don't know if you heard everything we were talking about, but let me just hypothetically throw out: if I were to refer to you as fat, how would you feel about it?
I'd be like, yeah,
You wouldn't care,
that's why we're working out.
and because you see yourself
Not
as
if we
being
was
over.
on the phone though.
Yeah, because the reason you say it is because you see it as just like
Yeah, if someone
a description.
there's been some instances if a guy is being flirtatious and talking to me, I'd be like, you have really bad taste. You like fat girls?
But if Taji was on the phone,
And just so y'all know, Vivian is not a pushover. Like she's a no nonsense girl, so she's not like a passive woman at all. All right?
So I'm like, just let me get fined and then come back. But
Because you're looking at it just a matter of fact thing. You feel overweight, which
yeah, I'm like, give
equates
me
to
a
fat.
It's
Right.
yeah. I won't even. I used to not come outside. Remember?
Yeah, because
After I had
you
the
used to
baby,
be in a certain size.
I'm
and all
like,
that
I'm
kind
not
of stuff,
coming
yeah.
out yet, but I'd make my debut. But women that are used to take pride in their shape or their appearance, I think some women are okay with that term.
Right.
And if you're secure within yourself, you don't care if your
Right.
body goes through those stages. You
Right,
accept it, you
right,
embrace it, and you know that it's temporary. When you know that it's temporary, you don't get offended.
see, that's
Right,
the thing.
right.
The temporary part about it. When you know you just a
Right.
fats.
Yeah.
And it can't be fixed.
Now,
can't
when
be
it runs
fixed.
in your family, though, I don't know. I can't really relate to that because do people just accept it? Like,
I think people just accept it.
That's a good one.
When it's in your family, I think you just chalk it up.
Because it don't run in my family, but I have some people in my family that are getting on the fat side.
Well, everybody, it's no family that's just
Right.
that don't have that.
That don't happen.
See, now with my family members, because I know their sensitivity level, I would not use the word. You understand what I'm saying?
Except if it's Hassan. When you,
well,
if it's him,
right.
I would say, is that fat Hassan?
Yeah, I said certain people, yeah. certain people, because, you know, if you already know how certain people's sensitivity levels, then you want to use the word differently, right?
Yeah.
If Vivian was like a stranger, I wouldn't use the word fat with her, right? Vivian also knows how I am.
Nice. Sorry, guys.
Oh, I think that was him joining that.
She also knows how I am, like, you know.
So did she have a problem with the Drake thing? What you said?
What?
To Drake?
What?
Well,
Does she know?
Oh, say it. I didn't hear that part.
So it sounds funny when you just say it this way.
I don't know what you want to just say.
No, you gotta say it. Just say it.
I thought it was just regular.
No,
so you don't want
say
to.
it.
No, I
Say
don't.
it. No, wait. Say it the way it's supposed to be said, so I can give you. My
Oh, you don't want to just say it regular, huh?
Say
Don't
it.
sound right, huh,
Go
buddy?
ahead. Say it exactly the way it was delivered.
So
Say it exactly how it was delivered.
So Dre was, I don't remember his exact scenario, but he was saying something about his daughter, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, which one, the fat one?
Wait, he said the fat one?
He was saying, no, he was saying
He
something
said
about,
that.
I didn't know which daughter he was talking about.
You said the fat one?
Right,
Which one? The fat one?
right.
I don't know if it came out like, I don't know how it came out. Y'all making me laugh. It's not supposed to be like
We
that.
making you laugh.
It's not supposed to be this way.
I
I said, which one, the fat one?
I said I wouldn't have said it.
No, Dre didn't say nothing
what
at the
if
time.
he was on speakerphone?
I don't know. I just wouldn't have said
What
it
if
though.
what if his significant other, his wife, was there?
She would hate you right now more than she probably already hates you.
Maybe. But my thing is, yo,
What?
she's fat. What?
What? You already know what?
Is she not? She's overweight, meaning she's fat.
I think overweight is worse too.
The thing is. So here's I think part of the problem, right? In that context, I don't think there's any word you could use. Like Keazy said, the younger one, something like that, right?
Oh yeah. You could have said the younger one.
Right? But if you're going to use the descriptive term, there's no word. My whole point here is the
But
word
why couldn't you
fat
say the one that's not skinny?
still gonna be a problem.
The one that
I don't think there's any way you can put that. It's going to not be a problem. The problem
The
is just
one
the problem is just addressing the
That
weight.
likes to eat.
The problem is addressing the weight.
I think the one that likes to eat is one of the worst things. The one that always finished meals. Where's that one at? That's worse.
The
Keazy said it right.
problem is addressing her differentiating them by the
problem
size,
is that Taji
right?
pays attention to looks, and I think men pay attention to looks. Men are visual. When men describe anything, they have to go to what stands out the most.
But it's not even just men. I hear
Right.
you. I hear you right.
That's
You're not
true,
wrong
too.
about that. But again, you may have missed part of the conversation. Like, so Nisha's on here. She's stop. You wrong. It's not funny. Hopefully, if she isn't seeing this, you could have Nisha.
No, right?
Nisha, listen.
You're right, Nisha.
Are we not people who describe people as fat, as overweight, as whatever? Like, it happens in the world. Like, what are you going to be super politically correct about everything that comes out of our mouth?
Yes.
No, we're not. People call me skinny. People say somebody's skinny, somebody
They
tall,
call me black.
somebody short, somebody black, whatever the case may be. Like, it's
Which
no
one, Black
different.
Damon?
It's no different than using this. It's no different than using fat as a description. It's no better or worse. Like, we're not gonna be doing a podcast and not use any adjectives ever in life. This is nuts.
Are you arguing your case
Yes.
so that you can say it?
Yes.
Yes. I'm not going to not say it. I don't care what they say. I'm not going to not say
You
it.
want a fat license.
The fat license.
I'm not going
be
to not
able
say
to-
it, Vivian. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to not use the
Some
word
people-
fat.
some
but
people agreeing
but
with
you don't
you.
like when people call you short.
I don't, but I don't bitch about it. You understand what I'm saying? Actually, I don't care. I don't really
I don't
care.
care.
Yeah, I don't care because I've been short. But here's my point was, I don't know, you might have missed this. It's no different, right? A dude, and it's even worse. Maybe you could argue because a dude can't change his height. You can if you unless you have a condition, you can, or maybe in a case like yours, you're older and it's hard to lose a weight, stuff like that. You can do stuff about being fat. You can't do nothing about being short. Yet and still, people say that's okay, but you can't use a descriptive
His
term as
case
fat for a
is
person.
skinny versus fat. That's the
It's the opposite. It's the opposite of fat.
Skinny versus fat.
fat.
Because when you say people skinny, nobody gets offended. You ain't supposed to get offended. But
No, a
somebody
lot of
say
people
fat.
do get offended with skinny. I heard you guys.
So Reason says you couldn't just think of any other way to describe it. No, at the time that's what came out. Now I will agree with Keazy in this. I could have maybe had more tact and used a different
But you're
descriptive
not
term.
tactful.
I'm a little more tactful than I used to be. You know what I mean? But this is also my homies, and as a stranger, I maybe would put more effort into thinking something different, think of a different word.
I think when you.
But I'll give them that. Like I could have used a different something besides the weight to describe his daughter or whatever.
I think when you know the person, or if you feel close, if you have that.
But I was telling him I still wouldn't say that, and I'm real close with Dre. I wouldn't describe his daughter like that. I don't know what I would have said.
But if someone, if you,
I might would have got quiet. Which one?
yeah.
That might be worse.
So
One.
So Dre actually did say that he didn't get offended because he knows me and he knows I didn't mean offense by saying that, right? But he just brought it up to say like if it was a stranger, if it's a stranger, I get that.
But you wouldn't.
My
say that
whole
to
thing
a
is I didn't
stranger.
disagree with Nisha and Dre. That's the whole thing. I didn't say they were wrong about people taking it offensively. People could take offensively whatever they want.
I wouldn't say
Everybody's
that.
saying what did Dre? What she said. What
So
did Dre
I am
say?
Carmencita says I think you could address is a form of description when describing a person. The same goes for skinny people. I agree with you, Taji.
Should anybody really be talking about anybody's looks though in today's day and age? Like
That's not
like
looks
what's
though.
going?
to me.
What's
That's appearance. It's a little bit different than looks, I think.
what do y'all think?
I guess it is different kinda.
If you can see it,
I look at looks as like fat people can be beautiful people. They can be pretty people,
Yeah.
right? That's what I look at as looks. And I think that's part of the problem too. People assume that like fat means
Being
ugly.
insulted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if it
Yeah.
don't mean
Fat
ugly.
I
might
mean,
be-
people associate fat with unhealthy and.
But that's true, though.
And not appealing.
They see
That's what associates.
they do the same
That's
thing
why.
with short men and skinny girls.
No, they don't think skinny girls is.
Yeah, they do. You know nowadays, no
I
butt,
guess.
no hips.
That is
That
disgusting.
sounds depressing. Guys they frown when they're just like she don't have nothing, nothing, just all back.
You do get offended with skinny too. Nisha said, depending on how it's said.
Yeah,
I don't.
No, it's not, and it's not about how it's said either. But I do agree that a lot of people get offended by the term.
But
skinny.
again, look, we're getting off track because I'm not saying you can't get offended. Do y'all understand that?
Right.
I'm not saying you can't
He
get
just
offended.
saying he needs to have the right
To
call
freedom,
you fat.
just like you
Fat.
have the right to say skinny or short.
That's what he's saying.
It's no better. It's no worse.
Do you have the right to call people ugly? And
No, that's
their
an
face?
insult. That's a targeted insult.
But if a person, everyone's perception is their reality. Okay.
With some stuff, it's
Perception is
I
reality.
think ugly is definitely an insult.
Okay, but someone can also think that fat is an insult. So
They
I think
can.
it depends on everyone's individual perception.
You're right about
so
that.
that's why people have to be. We live in a really sensitive society right now. Everyone's overly emotional, crying when the wind blows.
You're right about that. You're right about
so I don't. You're never gonna get that license.
I don't care about the license. I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not gonna walk around the world on eggshells. We went through this. I'm not gonna
Next time you take a run, I want you to just yell at all the fat people you see, and I want you to just go, "Hey fatty, hey fat girl, fat man."
All right, so
Just
that would be
everybody-
an insult.
So
though.
No,
exactly,
but-
exactly.
but-
yes.
Talking on the phone
like, hey,
personally
hey.
to one of them.
Listen,
Talking to them personally on the phone is
talking
not
to
an
them
insult.
personally on the phone, say, "Hey, give me a call," and then you get them on the phone. "Hey, I just want to let you know I think you're fat." That's not an insult.
No, that is kind of because you're doing it to hurt the person.
Anything doing malicious
Yeah,
is.
exactly. Malicious. Anything you're doing maliciously
You don't.
that's
if
what an
someone,
insult comes
if
from.
my thing is, if someone has to talk about someone's looks, it's unnecessary. You don't have to do it.
That's not looks to me though. That's appearance.
Appearance or looks?
No, it's a
You
descriptive
don't
term
have,
for
nobody is
appearance.
saying that you have to.
Okay, here you go. Here you go. I got you.
You're really
I got
needing
you.
to use
I
this
got you. When you go into, if you were taken into like a police station to identify a person, is that a descriptive term or is it an insult? Skin that he was skinny, he was fat.
is that a descript? It's a description, and you can also.
You're not talking
say-
about their looks. You're just describing what the person looks
They'll
like.
say how did this person look to you? It could be appearance.
Are you gonna be like, oh,
anything.
I can't say
It
fat.
could be-
in the
This
police
person
station.
robbed
No. You
and
know
possibly
what?
almost
Wait,
raped.
I
hold
can't
on.
say fat.
can't
but
say
this is
it.
politically incorrect. I'm going to say they were an overweight guy.
Listen.
What does
It's
overweight
still
mean?
appearance
What does
and
overweight mean? Now
looks.
you got to get into the details, right?
Looks
What is overweight?
and-
What they,
looks
you know,
and appearance.
they were slightly above the average
When
weight
it's
it-
for
different.
I think everything your eyes see, that falls under looks and appearances, and I think you have to just tread lightly because
You have to tread
you don't
lightly.
care. You don't care if it's offensive.
No, I do care. If they say it's offensive, then I address it.
Oh, okay.
I do care.
Okay. So if they say I'm offended by that,
Right.
Or if you see a tear, then you're just like, did that hurt you?
I mean, if that's so. I would call this is people need to get over their insecurity and rather identify who they are. If you are offended, then you need to self-reflect into why. I mean, that's a hardcore way, but I agree. Like
Wait.
You need to look
Wait.
inside yourself.
well, the point here is that there's something internally that the person's not happy with. In some of these cases, now if you insulting a person, that's different. But if you're just describing a person, they get like, oh,
She just called me the black dude.
Yo, but if someone calls my daughter, if someone calls my daughter fat, I probably wouldn't talk to them again. If someone called my child or my daughter fat, I probably wouldn't talk to them.
She also
Anymore. I would
agrees.
adjust that.
She also agrees that appearance is
Hey
not
baby,
looks.
hey Kai. I told her I was gonna crash this thing. I told her I said, Kai, log in, watch this live. I'm about to walk in. I'm gonna yell.
Oh, she's on here or something.
Yeah, she said,
All
"Hi,
right.
mommy."
I got called the black.
That black dude over there
You
with
got
her.
called the
I am
what?
Carmencita. La Carmencita. I'll say I am Carmencita. La Carmencita. The black dude over there can be offensive in either race, but it's merely a form of
Wait,
description
who's saying
as well.
that?
She got thick skin, so like she kind
The
of
black
like me
dude
when it
over
comes to that. So
I'm not either though. Well, I'm black. But I'm
Are
not
you
racist.
black? I thought you were Cubano.
yeah, so I
Yeah,
think we just
she
keep
said
getting
appearance
lost
is
in
not
the
looks. I'm gonna look up the definition of appearance.
getting lost in the idea that again I'm gonna say the word fat is an adjective. It is not when they say it. If you look up the word, it's not going to say an insulting, whatever you might say for overweight. It's not going to say that. It's going to say the description of what fat is. You know, like whatever the science of that is. And it's
I
going
mean,
to
I
say,
agree.
it's
I
going to
think
say
it's different.
overweight. That's what it's going to say. It's not going to say an insult.
Wait, go
the
ahead.
definition of appearance.
Sounds like you might be wrong.
The way that
Appearance.
someone or something looks. I like the appearance of stripped antique pine. An act of
I
performing.
still don't.
or
I still say that. I
participating-
still
Look,
say it's different than
He
looks.
still argues
No.
with the dictionary.
No, looks. No, it's not. It's not the definition of appearance. It's the definition of looks. You know what I'm saying? Like looks is
Face.
is like I don't want to say cosmetic, but it's like superficial. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like appearance, the way someone looks is not. That's not a superficial. That doesn't mean superficial. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get
That's
what
the
you
only
mean.
way to describe what appearance means.
Why you always agree with him?
Well, it's
I
true.
actually don't.
No, you don't actually.
We don't always
The
agree.
appearance. There's no other way to describe what appearance is by the way something looks. Like what other way can you describe that? But looks is a superficial term. You understand what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Come
All
on,
I'm
man.
saying,
Y'all
the
not
bottom line
y'all not
is,
catching me with this stuff, man. Like I'm a wordsmith.
Wait, hey.
That'll make it not
hey,
offensive.
Wait, listen.
Why you pat me on my head?
Okay, I looked up the definition of look. It says the act of wait. It says the
What does that say?
appearance of someone or something. You can't. Come on, stop.
Vivian, come on.
You're-
Let me see that.
Okay,
He gonna change the dictionary.
it's gonna die.
Now
Look,
look.
the number 2.
No, don't go to 2.
She skipped the
Don't
main
direct
one.
me to 2.
She skipped the main one.
An act of directing one's gaze in order to see one or something. That's superficial.
And what's the next one?
The appearance of something, someone or something, especially as expressing a particular quality. The bedraggled look of the village. I mean, we talking about looks of people though. That's different, man. We're not talking about.
Do you know what she? But wait, do you
this
know
is-
what she looked like? The daughter. You know exactly what she looked like.
Oh wow.
Why are you asking me that?
Because I was just saying it was something else. Maybe
Are you trying to say the only
you
thing
coulda
I noticed
said.
is that?
Yeah, like That was the only thing he noticed. Why?
What?
Like, why was that the only thing he
I thought you
noticed?
said wide.
Well, do you think people usually speak that way if they're more into looks? If that's something, if appearance is important to them?
All right, so like, she on right on page, right on the same wavelength with me today. Like Carmen said, the appearance is the physical characteristics of a person. So height, weight, etc.
I just read definitions. I'm just a messenger.
So did we come to any
Where's
conclusions?
Dre at? Can you text him or something? Did you text
Dre
him?
needed to be on the show, but the last time, the last conversation we had about this,
Let me
Dre,
call him.
Was he angry?
no, he knew, he understood what I was saying. I forget, it was one sentence where I was like, Dre, what you just said right there is exactly the point of doing the podcast. Is to try to get across to people that.
You wasn't trying to be offensive.
Right, that the word is a description. It's not like it's the way people perceive stuff that's the problem, not the word itself that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, "Oh, you should have just explained it like that." I was like, "Dre, I've been telling you this for 2 months." Like, I understand that people will take it offensively. I know that. Like, that's not what I'm arguing.
You just don't care.
I understand they have the right to take it offensively.
No, I think he cares.
Yeah, I do care.
It's just that he needs to have his whole MO is about freedom of speech. He can't be.
Well, I'm the same way on
he
that.
Can't. There's not. He can't be restricted. He's a wild animal. That's why he's called the wolf. So anytime he speaks,
But you know I'm not though, Vivian.
anytime
I'm the
he
same way.
speaks,
That's
he
why I
has
get
to.
called
He has
racist.
to speak with no bars. He has to be free, and then he's like, he'll apologize later and say, "Oh, you know, my bad if that offended you, but I just had to say what I needed to say and get it out."
So you can feel better.
Yeah. He does that. That's how he's.
I'm just not. I'm not that harsh. You know, I'm not like just saying whatever to anybody. But like, I just don't believe in walking on eggshells. I don't subscribe
That's
to that.
really what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't believe in walking on eggshells dealing with in communication. Some stuff you know is an offensive and harmful way of saying stuff. I don't put every descriptive term in that category. Like if I say you fat hoe or you, like, if I say you get your fat ass, that's.
But there are compliments with those two words combined.
Fat ass hoe, right? Fat ass hoe. No, that's not what the hoe part's not a compliment, but your fat ass. With your fat ass. Ass.
He has
Like
to
your
repeat it.
So if he would have said your daughter with the fat ass, everything would have been fine.
It would have been.
No, that would have been more offensive.
That's why. Can you edit this?
But my whole thing is Dre.
Did you
had
just say my daughter had a fat ass?
My whole thing is the bottom line is I wouldn't even have said it, and
Well,
he know I say anything, but I wouldn't have said that to Dre. You know I wouldn't have said that to Dre.
I don't know.
I wouldn't have said, Keazy, back me up here. You just chilling. I wouldn't have said that. Like, I wouldn't have said that to none of my homies about their daughter. I wouldn't have said that.
So
It's
what
not
would you
about
have
his
said
daughter. It's
before-
just a
so he didn't
description
see-
of
he
his
didn't-
daughter.
He didn't see her, right? So you didn't really know how she looked, right?
No, I knew she was.
I knew she was good. What the fuck is...
You know he's laughing hard. He has to grab his chest. But I don't know if he's in cardiac arrest or really laughing.
All I'm saying is, I would say anything I wouldn't say.
Since we can't say what we see with our eyes,
Right?
I don't know.
So you don't know what to do now.
Yeah, I can't say what I see. I can't.
I don't
I guess
know
I
what to
can't
say.
do that. So
Okay, so let's Taji. So if I'm Dre and
you
you're talking
like no,
to me now,
we're talking about. You literally asked me what she is like as far as the weight, and I can't address it now because we can't say what we see.
Only because Dre is a personal friend, I think. If it was somebody else, you would describe it differently.
Right.
Just
I
like
would
because
say
he's
it
a personal
differently.
friend, I wouldn't say you're fat dog. Like I wouldn't say that.
I don't always think that it's negative. It's, like I agree, it's not always used negatively, and it is used to describe. It is, but I'm just talking about the majority, how the majority of people receive it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the majority
will
is-
take offense.
I'm about to say.
And actually, what's crazy though is that I don't think thick and fat are too far apart.
So Amari
That's a lie.
says Amari says it's the way people take it. All right, he says it's the way people take it, not the word. That's the only correct way to answer this question.
That's true. But if you listen, perception
Fat
is
and thick
very,
is two different things.
Perception is everything. Right.
Perception is
Thin line.
very.
Right.
It's like it gets on everybody's nerves
Right.
because you can't even.
Right.
Not everybody has the same perception. It's all individual.
Right.
But see, that's Vivian. That's
And
why.
that's
That's
what
why I
making
said.
everybody
But said
crazy.
now by my approach, like Nisha says, she just don't talk to people because she don't want to offend
Oh,
people.
that's sad.
But so my approach is the opposite. Like you can only do one or two things. Either you're gonna walk on eggshells, or you're gonna just be yourself, right?
Or just give them a disclaimer. But when you start talking to them, hey,
You could
listen,
give disclaimers. You could do that.
Look,
yeah.
we're gonna have a conversation. You're fat. I'm gonna talk. That's what I'm gonna
Yeah,
say
you
that
could
a
do
few
that too,
times.
yeah.
I'm
Okay.
saying that a few times.
And I'm sorry in advance, but this is me.
Yeah, you can
And
do that too.
you can
yeah.
take it or leave
I think
it.
only girls could do that.
No.
He can't say to a woman, "Look, I'm gonna call you fat a few times."
Yeah.
But Dame, actually,
Like-
there's fat women who don't get offended by it.
I mean, it
I
is.
can say straight up,
But the majority
I've
will
been
be
known-
offended.
Dame, I don't
I've-
think I've ever called a woman fat and she outright got offended. Like a lot of overweight women are kind of like either okay with it or they accept it or they have jovial personalities or whatever case may be. And then
Jovial?
I'm not, no, see why y'all gotta pick on that?
Because you know.
Some of them jovial like Santa Claus.
No, man, no. That's not like they, good nature, whatever case may be, and they just not taking offense to that word. Like my ex Tish, like, she was petite. She had like an ass and thin waist and all this kind of stuff, and she put on weight. She put on weight and she's kind of
And now
fattish
she's
now.
not with
right?
Did you
him
say
anymore.
thick or fat?
My brother be
She
saying
put-
fat.
he
Like he
said
be saying,
she-
I don't even like it when he be saying, but she cracks up. She be like, shut up, whatever. You know what I mean? Some people just don't care like that.
Do you
know what I'm
guys
saying?
care when they put on weight and women call them fat?
Wait a minute.
I would.
Reese said jovial was a fat word.
It was.
It was not. I was not saying it.
It was
It's
a very
'Cause
Santa
Santa
Clausy.
Claus is jovial.
It was a Santa Clausy thing to say about a woman.
Talking
Because if you
about-
say a fat, happy person, isn't that jovial?
That's what I
Skinny
would-
person can be jovial.
No, they can't.
Yes, they can. What are you talking about?
It doesn't.
They
Don't have,
cannot.
but they don't have a jovial belly and they don't laugh.
Jovial to
belly.
me means you
They
fat
laugh
cracking up.
and
Right.
everything
You
shakes.
fat cracking up all the time.
Everything shakes.
When you laugh, everything goes
Yeah.
everywhere.
That's not what jovial means.
It don't mean you laugh and
means
nothing
jolly.
moves.
And skinny people can't say jovial. I feel like it's
Right.
a fat person's word.
Y'all serious right now?
I'm
I am.
serious. I don't think you can say
Look it
jovial.
up. Look it up.
You can say jovial.
A jovial skinny person?
No,
That
because
don't
I
even
don't want
sound
to be
right.
wrong.
What are you talking about? You can be jovial and skinny, man.
How? Nothing
Keazy
moves.
dying.
Nothing
You don't have to move.
But with his arms, when he said it, he went like this.
Right.
Jovial.
You said she could be jovial,
Jovial.
meaning everything is earthquaking and waving.
I'm telling y'all, it had nothing to do with fat when I said that word.
It had everything to do with it.
Does jolly mean fat too?
Yes.
Jolly is fat.
Yes.
Cause y'all relate everything to Santa Claus.
Yes.
Have you seen a jolly skinny person?
Look at jovial. Look at jovial.
Yeah. Tell me
If
one.
first, on a dating site, if someone says I'm without a picture,
First of all,
I am jolly.
You don't even have to be a person
I'm
for it to be
jovial.
jovial. Like anything can be jovial.
If on a dating site,
It's-
if they have no picture,
Perfect example.
they say I'm jovial, I'm jolly.
And what you gonna think? They skinny?
That's it.
I don't think jovial is a fat word. I mean,
What you wanna think?
I think we associate jolly with it just because of Santa
I'm
Claus.
jolly.
What do you wanna think?
And I'm jovial.
If you're on the website, just like she said, and they
Look
say
up.
they
Why you scared to
jovial.
look it up, Vivi? Okay. Like, come on, man. Like, I'm a wordsmith. I know what words mean.
Taji.
Jovial is not a fat word.
It's right next to it. It's a fat person.
No, it's
And it-
not.
Let's see,
Jovial
I'm gonna,
means
you know what I'm gonna do?
good.
I'm
Like,
gonna look up jovial.
jovial
and
means
click
good
images.
natured and.
Right. There you go.
Jovial.
No, look up the description. Don't do
Jovial
no images.
images.
No, look up the description. Look up the
Do
description.
images.
Keezy,
I
look up the
am. I'm
description.
doing what makes me excited first.
Keezy, look up the description.
Look at all these fat people.
Reese said it sounds fat.
It does.
That's because y'all thinking of Santa Claus. Get Santa Claus out your minds.
Dang.
That's who's jovial.
Yeah.
Who else is jovial?
Anybody can be jovial. Is my point.
Name them.
The person, the imaginary person I was just talking about, which wasn't a fat person in my mind.
Jovial said it's cheerful and friendly.
That's it. End of story. End of story.
What else?
That's it.
There's no relation to fat.
Keazy, what else?
I can't believe y'all trying to make Jovial fat. I'm being dead. I'm not even crank. I'm not even joking. This to me,
I associate
Jovial has nothing to do with fat.
I do not associate it with
And anybody, and he says, listen to his podcast, and we're like, what is these people talking about? Jovial just means what he said, cheerful.
But I googled it.
You just-
and that came up. Can I see? How can you make? Can you put this in the camera?
Right
pick
there.
one picture.
Which one? This one?
right here.
Well, the
I see it?
video was there.
Yeah.
Here.
That's what you want to see it. But I mean, Instagram.
Here. Can you get closer?
It's
video?
basically a what is this? A Buddha.
And
She zoomed in on that picture of all the pictures she could have picked.
yeah, because
That came under jovial.
because he's happy and he looks jovial and jolly.
Anyway, did we reach any conclusion today? Any
Don't say.
I mean,
I don't think that's the
bottom line-
conclusion. It seems split.
No,
It seems split on
I really,
Instagram.
I
actually.
think that
I'm on your side.
Actually, it wasn't even split on Instagram. It was one person, Nisha, going in. That's it. Everybody else pretty much understood the idea.
My whole thing is, I agree with you supposed to be able to say everything, but you can't to everybody. That's all. And you don't agree with that.
Why is the thing looking like that?
What?
See the lines right there on the wheel?
Yeah.
Anyway. Probably
But,
some sound issues.
I'm halfway on your side.
halfway on Taji's side.
Are you going to doctor up how you say stuff to people?
No, well, it depends on who it is.
Who it
I
is,
will.
right? But that's kind of my point.
I was taught to
You know what
say
I mean?
healthy or like other words instead. And I feel like if you're a wordsmith, because you're a wordsmith, you can find other words to say instead of fat. And you can describe fat in other ways.
That's all I was saying. It was Dre.
Because you're a
you could have used a
word-
million other
Because,
words.
But
because
the
you're a
brown skin
wordsmith.
one.
Yeah,
I think I agree with
the
Keazy's point that in that context I could have
healthiest
used a different.
of all healthies.
I could have used a different identifier, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But
You're good at that.
But-
so you could have done
But
that.
Vivian, at the same time,
I
I do
didn't
not
want to.
subscribe to every
That
person you
wouldn't have been an
encounter.
eggshell, though. That's Dre.
I'm just said I agreed with that though.
Yeah.
Let's isolate that now. Let's step away from
You
that.
agree with me?
What'd you say?
He says disregard what I said. That you, because you're a wordsmith.
No, I don't agree with that.
Finish my sentence.
I know what you said. I remember.
You're not a
that.
wordsmith, but you're a
I
rapper.
remember that.
I'm not going to stretch my mind to every individual
Are you a
person.
wordsmith?
I'm not going to stretch my mind with every individual
Did
person
he
to
say
try
no?
to appease to what could offend this person. Let me try to doctor up. I'm going to say that.
Did you say no before I even finished?
No, I
I
heard-
said wordsmith, but you are a wordsmith.
I remember what you said.
You said no. Oh, that's why you answered it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to do that. That's too much effort. And honestly, Vivian, the proof is in the pudding. I haven't offended people like that in my life.
So you haven't. So you haven't offended anyone that.
No, I'm sure everybody's been offended by somebody. Every person
No,
sit
by
up here is
you. By
offended.
you.
people. No, of course I've
by
offended
you
people.
Saying
Of course
fat.
I've offended people. Yeah.
Have they told you that you offended them when they?
With the fat thing,
Yeah.
one person,
What happened?
Sahar,
Oh.
and I didn't even say fat.
What'd you say?
I use another descriptive term.
What
I didn't even use a descriptive term.
What
I
did you say?
implied that
Yeah.
maybe she needs to work on her weight.
I was going to say you said something like that. I was going to literally say that.
See, but I.
And it wasn't even to say she was fat. It was just to trim your, if you want to work on this, then, type of thing. And she got offended.
Oh yeah,
She's
I can
also
see
a C.
that. She's
Like
also
your
a-
niece.
Well,
Like-
okay, but I'm just saying,
that's
like,
different. So if you understand people's family dynamics and the way you were raised, or I think it has a lot to do with your upbringing and your mindset, doesn't it? If you're gonna get offended.
Yeah, kind of.
she's sensitive to it because of like the family dynamic and people in the family calling her fat. So I didn't even need to say the word just
And
to
she's
just
growing,
to address.
and it's not actually fat. She's becoming a woman.
Right.
That's what's
I don't
happening.
think Sarah's fat at all.
But she's becoming a woman, and I think sometimes, like for example, my father was a gymnast. When I saw my father putting on weight, because I know that he prefers to look a certain way, I would say, "Hey, Daddy, you
Yes,
might want
there you
to
go,
work
right.
out. You probably need to get back
for
in the
his
gym."
for his
but
standards,
that's
right.
because for me, why would I want the people those closest to me to pat me on my back if I look a hot mess?
Right.
Now,
And
And that's how I am.
It kind of helps you gauge, right?
That's
Now,
how I am.
Sahar looks fine to me, but she's
Not the
she's
way she
trying
wants to
lose,
be.
right. So just addressing that, she got offended. But that's
But
the
if you're
closest.
working your butt off and the weight's not really coming off, and then someone says you should.
I didn't even
work
do
out
that though.
more.
It wasn't even that.
Okay.
It wasn't even that. Like, but I'm just saying that's the closest I've come to using that word. And people, other context I may have used, it might be like I told y'all Tish is. You know, joking back. She says, called me fat because like my stomach started getting a little weight. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
I'm like that.
You know what I'm saying? You know, so like stuff like that, or like maybe in a training environment. You know what I mean? In the gym, they call people fat all the time.
No, bro. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In training environment,
Especially
people ain't gonna take offense to it. Context matters, situation matters, intent definitely matters. If you're saying fat to be an insult, is different than saying it to just describe a person's look.
So what inspired this podcast?
That argument.
Yeah.
That argument. It wasn't an argument though that he had with.
It turned into one. It wasn't at first. It wasn't at first.
Oh.
It turned into an argument because they were trying to talk about like, you know, you need to change. It's like I'm not. I was
okay.
like, y'all probably offend people more in life than I have. So
I
you
get
know
what
what I'm saying. So which is ironic to me that the straightforward person is the one not offending people, but y'all walking on eggshells and still offending motherfuckers because y'all trying too hard. Y'all trying too hard to use the right word, and y'all wind up saying the dumb shit.
You've offended a lot of people.
Who?
You? No. I've been there for the offensive stuff.
I've offended people maybe like talking about maybe they can't sing.
But because he's so proud
Talking
of
about
his
you.
yeah.
Saying shit like that, yeah, I have.
But the problem is that the reason he doesn't stay around all the time to wait for people to express themselves.
He dropping it.
So he drops the mic and leaves. Damn it.
He dropping it real. I can see that.
Yeah, he'll be like, yeah, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
And he'll walk away and he'll be like, I never want to see that dude again. You know?
I can see that.
But and growing and like and being around him this long, he wouldn't wait for a reaction. He would just say what he had to say, and because he's proud about it and doesn't really question his delivery, okay? He would just be like, it is what it is. And it's not offensive because that's not what I meant by it. Oh well. And that's how
I can see that.
Whatever you just said. My whole point is that if somebody expresses being offended, I don't have any problem apologizing.
And that's sincere.
Yeah, like
Okay.
my
But
thing.
you don't really
Now, if
be
you
mean.
know, if you too
What'd you
timid
He
to,
don't really be mean.
if you too timid to even just say that you're offended, that's not my problem. It's not my problem. The people say stuff to me, and sometimes I get offended and don't say nothing
so now
about
you
it.
Fight him.
If people say something to me, and like the short thing, let's go back to that. All right, let's not forget that point. Women call dudes short all the time. Girls say stuff about me
tell
being
her
short.
about the online when they say they want tall dudes or I don't want short.
Yeah, like they discriminate on sites. Like Dre, my issue with Dre was he was literally making a point that fat is more insulting than short. I'm like, so you're a hypocrite now. Because how can you say that women calling dudes short? I've dealt with this my whole life, Jay. Well, you don't seem like you care. I'm like, okay, so maybe I have the confidence. But that don't mean that I didn't. There's women who I probably never would have a chance to talk to because they immediately saw a short dude. I ain't talking to him. Right? Women call you know Vivian. Is it a desirable trait for a man to be short? Don't front. Like be straight
I don't
up.
have to front because I think women want when they think of a man, they think, what can I do with this man? Or how can I be protected?
And short.
You can't be
There you
by a
go.
short
There you
dude
go.
with a gun.
If
There you go.
someone's going to jump out at me,
Can't be protected
is
by a
this
short dude.
midget going to save me?
There you go. So how can you make this is what my whole point.
So short is bad.
Bad, right?
Short is
Short
bad.
short isn't generally seen as a protector. Short isn't generally seen as all this
It
other
is.
stuff.
It's like
And then what
It's
else?
a liability.
What else? Short man syndrome, right?
Short is a
And if you
liability.
express that you have a problem with it, oh, you got short man syndrome.
so how? That's why Kevin Hart had.
You can't win if you
But
short.
that's why Kevin Hart had to be funny.
You can't win if you short unless you going out there and just showing you got to beat everybody up.
That's true.
I go beat everybody.
Okay.
So somebody
You gotta
says
beat
short,
everybody
y'all
up.
whoop their
Yeah, so you
ass.
can't win if you short. And y'all bitching about fat. You ain't, but you know what I'm saying? Like people like Dre bitching about fat. He got a lot of nerve.
Do you think
He was
Now he mad at
does he
Dre.
ever? Does he ever?
I just thought about this. I've been short on my fucking. He tryna-
Dre wasn't ever short. You have to worry about that.
But was he ever fat?
He was fat
Ooh.
before. Yeah, he's fat. That plays into it.
So I wonder if he actually was able to relate.
Where's
to
Dre
that.
at?
Right.
That's what
We need
happened.
Dre.
That's what happened. See, people get offended when they can relate.
Right. That has something to do with it.
And then
That's
they
something
want
do
to
with
speak up for people, and they're like, "Don't say that. It's hurtful." Well, because if it was like you used to be fat and you struggled with weight, then
Yeah.
maybe you're a little.
Yeah,
bit
he started going
sensitive
back to high
that.
school and how he used to be fat and he said you put that in my yearbook one time and it bothered it bothered me.
What? What?
Dame, I can show you my year. I can show you my yearbook. Hold up, I can show you my yearbook right now. Where
Congrats,
people,
fat ass
Hold
Dre.
What did
hold
you
up.
say?
I don't know. Who cares? I can show you my
He
yearbook
cares,
right.
it affected
I can
him.
show you my yearbook right now where people was in there calling me Twiggy.
It doesn't-
Okay,
Wait a minute though.
Twiggy.
Wait.
Fuck
but
Dre
you
being
just,
called fat.
But we're trying to get to the. We were trying to get to the basis.
Because
of
Dre
all
is
this.
sensitive. Oh, poor Dre.
But you were just like, you was
Twiggy.
feelings for her because I wrote fat in his yearbook. That sounds like
Y'all biased.
That's what-
because I'm,
Have a nice
because
life.
I'm the dude
Fat
that
ass
sees
Dre.
I'm the dude that sees like I'm strong and I speak. Oh, nobody cares about him
man.
because Dre want to cry about stuff. Poor Dre.
Nobody
and he was probably crying himself
Nobody
to
cares
sleep
about
at
Twiggy.
night over that yearbook.
He was crying
This is a
over Twiggy.
this is a classic case. This is a classic case of stronger people get hurt more because people say they strong, so you just take everything. You don't care about it. What the fuck?
Right.
Stronger people get hurt more.
Yeah, because we carry more stuff. We don't. You
I
seem
think
like
when I
we.
hear strong though, I think mentally strong too. So I don't know. Do stronger people get hurt more?
Because we not expected to care about nothing.
You're not expected to say anything.
Yeah.
But your feelings don't really get hurt.
I mean,
They do, but you just don't
Right.
show
Your
it.
feeling,
right.
when do your feelings get hurt? When
I just
people
don't
talk
carry
about
it.
your
Yeah, hell yeah, they
appearance?
do. I just don't carry it. I don't carry it. As much people talk
Have
about
people ever talked about your skinny?
people-
Has
people
anybody
talk about
ever
Courtney
talked
Allen
about
all the time?
your skinny legs?
Fuck yeah, back in the day, they don't do that much no more.
I mean,
but yeah.
okay, they don't say you didn't outgrow your skinny legs.
She's trying to
I know
No,
she's
I'm
trying to
not
do
trying
it.
to. No, I'm just asking. I'm just asking, like, if you, as you get older, does it become easier to tolerate these things? You get what I'm saying?
guess.
No, I actually think it's the opposite.
Really?
Reason I say that is because I think I'm more. People say the short things so much. Sometimes I'm like, yo, all right, I'm enough of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes
Okay.
it starts to be wear on you a little bit.
Because
I
I
guess.
never, because I was
Some
always,
stuff it is easier to take, but then not everything.
So for
you know what I
you,
mean?
what do you think with age? Do these things come easier to
I think
receive?
so.
You think so?
You know what
I'm
else?
almost out of here.
You know what else it is with the
You
short
said you're
thing?
almost out of here.
You know what else it is with the short thing, Vivian? Before social media started, it didn't matter. Because they saw me, and people don't see Taji and see short guy.
Oh,
they might
that's
see
why my
presence and
girlfriend
stuff.
said that you look short in person.
Yeah, because she saw the pictures first.
Yeah.
She thought he was tall
Yeah.
and towering.
She's like, ooh, I need me some Taji. And then she saw him in person. She's like, nah.
Nah, she still wanted some Taji.
she still wanted some Taji.
Don't front. But anyway.
I'm like, oh, yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, so with social media, like say dating sites, you identify the height.
He's not
That's
that
what
short.
they immediately see the height. Mm-hmm. So
That's crazy.
you know what I
So
mean. So with
on
social
the dating
media,
sites, they put,
with social media accounts, and even the internet and everything. Because I mean, like,
do guys say they're short on dating sites?
Probably the height. You
yeah,
don't
you gotta
say
identify the
short.
height. You got
So if they're tall, though, guys will brag about how tall they are.
Yeah.
But if you're short,
You just put.
will
the
guys
height.
say, no, they leave that out?
Taji just said.
you
they get
identify the
stretched
height.
out
What?
By being short.
Yeah, if somebody see 5'7", they want a tall dude, they going to swipe by me. You know what I mean? So it's a whole pool of women I have no access to
Aww.
on dating sites.
Oh,
But see,
pool of women.
in person is different because they see the dude. They're not looking at the height. You know what I mean? So if they attract to me, they attract to me. But if they identify by all these statistics, they gonna swipe up. They gonna swipe left.
Wow.
You missing out on all that pool.
Like this girl I talked to. Her name was Vivian. She was 5'11", I think. I met her. She was sitting in the car, and I walked over to the car. You know what I mean? She got out the car later, and I was like, "All right, now
She peeled off.
now she
Wait a minute,
now
did
she
you
was on.
make that? Did you make that
I
expression?
was in the car. I had got back in my car and I saw her get out and go in the store. I might have looked like that. She's tall as shit. So and she was like a model type. You know what I'm saying? If she was on a dating site, she probably would have set parameters to not even see the 5'7".
Wait, but are short guys okay with dating tall women?
I know
Who
short
cares
dude.
about
I know.
that?
I don't really like
I
tall.
don't
I
care
don't really
about
like
that.
tall women, but like my brother, he likes tall women. Like women is taller than him. You know what I mean?
I don't prefer it, but I don't care about
So
that.
you're okay with women looking down at you?
They don't look down at this.
This.
You have a problem.
But I don't mind, girl.
I just
Yeah,
feel
talk
like-
to- I don't really care.
I don't know. I just feel like if I were a man, I just think men need pride, or they have pride and they want to be put on, kind of like on a pedestal.
Like I wouldn't stand next to you, stuff like that.
And I'm always like, you know, I ask my husband to like grab something for me. He feels. I think guys kind of like that when women ask for help.
Of course. And
I'm just like, I can't reach that. And he's just like, you can't reach that? I'm like, I just said that. I just said that. You mean you can't do it like this? I'm like, I can't. Just get it.
You know what I think?
And guys like that.
You know what I think it is with me? It's not necessarily the height. It's like the compatibility. Like, I like to be able to do this with a girl.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
What are you going to... You can't do that on her waist when she's tall.
Right. No, you can do the waist. You can do that, but you limit it to the waist. You can't.
And
do
you don't
that.
want her to hug you. And you don't wait. And you don't want her. I have a visual of her hugging him and his head in her chest.
See,
like
short
right here, like
short jokes. Here we go. Right.
See you later.
Pat you on the head.
Here we go. Here we go with the short jokes. Right.
No, I'm just saying.
Tit for tat. All right, I get it.
If a woman hugs you and your head falls into her chest, that means she's too tall. I don't care how. I just think.
You don't want your head at their bosoms.
I don't think that's a very. I think that's a very vulnerable state to be in. Who wants?
I don't want. I mean, you joking, but I really don't want to be in that situation.
You want to be right here.
I feel like all your pride just forget about it. It just goes away.
No, that's a way to knock that off. To knock that right out of her.
How? What? You just
knock it off. Right. Literally knock it off.
Strong arm them when they try to hug you like that?
In the bedroom, there's ways to handle that part.
Climbing?
No.
You same height when you laying down.
Man. That's all I'm trying to say.
Nowhere.
All right, this show been going on kind of long, so we gonna end it.
Because you know you're gonna add like 2 shows.
I know. Yeah, I don't want to have to do that. I know it's entertaining, but we're gonna end it right here. Hopefully, y'all stuck with us through the whole thing. Well, if y'all here, y'all stuck with us through the whole thing. Anyway, this is WulfWords for Taji, Keazy, Vivian, Damon G. Shout us out. I mean, tell people about us. You know, do all that.
Follow, share.
Do all that follow.
And any advice that you guys have to help Taji with his wordsmithing, or just any opinions, just share them.
Yeah. No, not yeah. No. Anyway, we out, y'all. WulfWords. What? We out, y'all. Wolfpack, Wolfback. Peace.
Hey, Taji, I just wanna know one thing, yo.
Yeah.
Why all these questions?
Yo, some say I'm too outspoken, Taji be on some other bitch. Cast shook, scared to quote it, bloggers don't wanna publish it. Rather be that than a token, y'all dudes be on some rubbish shit. I'm trying to get that all in the open, on the table before expunging it. MC shunning it, fuck it, either way they ain't touching it. Either way all I want is scholarly pundits discussing it. I'm the hub of the mothership, but don't budge unless I budget it. Take orders from no man, I do what